For over 4,500 years, ancient tablets sat buried beneath the sands of Mesopotamia, dismissed as myths,
What does it
ignored by
say?
mainstream science, and locked behind museum glass.
I've never seen these
But now,
markings
new
before.
interpretations of these forgotten
They're
texts
ancient.
are making waves. What if the Anunnaki weren't just gods of ancient lore? What if they were real? Ancient astronauts, genetic engineers, the architects of civilization? And what if humanity was their creation? The word Anunnaki comes from the Sumerians, one of the earliest civilizations in human history. According to them, the Anunnaki were powerful beings who came down from the heavens to earth. These weren't metaphorical gods or symbolic spirits. The Sumerians described them as real entities, flesh and blood, who ruled over cities, taught humanity laws, math, medicine, and even helped build the first civilizations in places like Ur, Uruk, and Eridu. Their tablets, some dating back to 3000 BCE, mention tools, materials, and even star charts. These were not fairy tales, they were records, and what they describe is shocking. According to these ancient texts, the Anunnaki didn't just guide humans, they made us. The story goes that the Anunnaki's own workers, called the Igigi, rebelled against hard labor, so the gods needed a new workforce. That's when Enki, one of the Anunnaki leaders, proposed a radical solution: combine the essence of the gods with clay from Earth. The result? A new being, a hybrid species, us. The name for this prototype human was Adamu. Sound familiar? The biblical Adam? It's not just coincidence. These stories were written 1,000 years before the book of Genesis. They claim we weren't born to worship, we were born to serve. But why were these beings here in the first place? According to the tablets, the Anunnaki came from a distant planet called Nibiru. Their world was dying, its atmosphere crumbling, and the only way to save it was with gold. They needed gold's reflective properties to stabilize their planet's climate. So they came to Earth, a planet rich in gold. They set up mining operations, and when the labor became too much, they engineered humans to do the digging for them. Sound far-fetched? Here's the twist. Gold is used in space technology today, especially in satellites and spacecraft, just like the James Webb Telescope. Its properties make it ideal for radiation shielding. That's not science fiction, that's science fact. As time went on, something unexpected happened. The Anunnaki began interbreeding with humans. These forbidden unions produced powerful hybrids, the Nephilim, described in ancient texts and in the Bible as giants of old men of renown. They were part divine, part human, and completely feared. Enlil, one of the Anunnaki's top leaders, saw this as a threat. He believed the Nephilim could destabilize the world order and possibly endanger Nibiru itself. While Enki defended the experiment, Enlil was furious. The situation spiraled out of control, and what came next was devastating. To wipe out the Nephilim and reset humanity, Enlil unleashed a cataclysm, the Great Flood. The story appears not just in the Bible, but in the Sumerian epic of Gilgamesh, which predates Genesis by over 1,000 years. The timing of this flood matches archaeological evidence from sites like Ur and Nippur, which show layers of sediment and destruction around 2900 BCE. Ice core samples from Greenland and Antarctica also reveal sudden climate shifts and global flooding at this time. It wasn't just a story, it may have been a real planet-altering event. One triggered perhaps by the arrival, or return, of something massive. Something like Nibiru. You might be thinking, Nibiru? That's just mythology. But hold on. In 2016, Caltech scientists proposed the existence of a mysterious, unseen planet at the edge of our solar system, Planet 9. A massive object 10 times the size of Earth with an orbit that could take 10,000 years to complete. And it affects the orbits of distant celestial bodies in exactly the way ancient texts described Nibiru. We haven't seen it yet, but its fingerprints are everywhere. Is it a coincidence or ancient memory? Here's where it gets even more mind-blowing. Recent genetic studies show a sudden leap in human evolution around 300,000 years ago. Scientists call it the Great Leap Forward, a mysterious jump in brain size, language, and complex tools. But no one knows why it happened. Could it be the result of intervention? Genetic manipulation by a more advanced species, just like the Sumerian tablets describe? And consider this, the word for worship in Sumerian was avod, which literally means to work for. We weren't just followers, we were workers, laborers, created for a purpose we never chose. So here's the question. Were the Anunnaki real? Ancient extraterrestrials who came from the stars, altered our DNA, built our cities, and left behind stories we called mythology? Or is it just a myth too strange to believe? Either way, after 4,500 years of silence, their voices are being heard again. And maybe, just maybe, the truth is far older than we ever imagined.